Hi, I'm Nancy O'Neill and welcome to Suncoast FYI. Today we preview a new local group home for adults with disabilities, plus a look at the 39th annual Sarasota Jazz Festival, a groovy fundraiser for the Sarasota Farmers Market, and a one-of-a-kind performance by an award-winning musician coming to the Suncoast. A new locally owned group home for adults with disabilities, Our Peaceful Living, is bringing compassion to the Suncoast. And here to talk about their mission are co-owners Rhonda and Christian Ginelli. Welcome to the program.
Thank you. Thank you for having us.
What a wonderful mission it is.
Thank you. Thank you.
And tell our viewers how you started off on this journey.
I had a gentleman who worked for me. I was doing retail management, and he had disabilities. He woke one night and his mother had passed in the middle of the night, and it was his only caretaker. So the state did not have a place for him to go. He did not have family that he could rely on for housing and for help. So we took him in because we couldn't see somebody go into the streets that needed help. So we brought him in and incorporated him into our family. And through this journey, we have found the need in this area is so high for a group home for adults with disabilities.
That's beautiful.
So that's how we got started.
Okay. Now, who does the group home serve?
This group home that we have licensed, it's our first group home, and we want to have many. This one is licensed for anybody that's 18 and older, and for both male and female.
Okay, and where is it located?
We're on Bee Ridge Road.
All right. And you've just recently opened. I know you've just gotten all your certifications.
Correct.
How many people will you be able to give a home to?
There'll be 6 beds.
Uh-huh.
A home is, you're allowed to have up to 6 individuals under the fire laws in Sarasota County.
Okay. And how should these people reach out to you?
We have a website. It's www.ourpeacefulliving.net. We can also, we're on Facebook, and our phone number and email address
are on there as well. Okay. Now, you said you want to open up, you see this being your first. What are your future goals? Is that what you see?
Yeah, being that Sarasota County does not have a lot of the residential habilitation housing, we're actually the first one in this area. So there's a large need from going from Bradenton to about the Naples area. So we are going to try to expand into different areas in Sarasota County.
Okay, and Christian, you mentioned a little bit before we came on the air. What is the mission, or how would you describe this to our audience?
So this type of environment that we're providing, it's a housing. It's not a facility or a community. The housing is to help individuals live as independently as they can in a home structure that they're used to with their families.
Okay, and you get them out in the community as well, you were saying.
Yes, absolutely.
Rhonda.
Yes, I've got set up a lot of volunteer missions that we're going to be doing with the residents if they choose to participate with that, as well as we are very active with Special Olympics. We've got a outreach program that we do ourselves. We go down on Tuesday morning and feed the homeless. We give them clothes, toiletries, and food in downtown Sarasota. So we'll interact with our residents and get them doing all those kinds of good things for the community, as well as a lot of fun things that they don't always get to do.
Well, and that's it. And it said it on your website that you want to find their special gifts. What do they want to do?
Absolutely.
And encourage those.
Absolutely. Whether it be sports or arts or singing, dancing. If you reach out into the community and work with the community, there's all kinds of things that they can do and participate in. You just have to get them out there and doing it.
Exactly.
So.
Now, what can our community do to help you?
We've got a lot of need. We are running right now our facility. The state requires that you have it opened and ready to go. It's got to be move-in ready. So there's a lot of expenses with that. So donations to help with those things. Donations of volunteer time. and efforts to go out and help and work with the residents, do things with the residents, and just really become part of a community for us.
And that's the impact that you want to have, right?
Absolutely.
You want this to be a community.
It has to be,
It
yeah.
has to be.
It has to be.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, thank you, and bless your
Thank you so
hearts for
much.
doing this.
Thank you. Thank you for having us.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Best of luck.
Thank you.
Just ahead on Suncoast FYI, a preview of the 39th Annual Sarasota Jazz Festival, so please stay with us. This local festival draws acclaimed performers from around the country, and here to talk about the 39th Annual Sarasota Jazz Festival is Peter Anderson and Michael Ross. Welcome to the program. 39 years. Oh my gosh. But you have a new name for it this year. It's called Generations of Jazz. Is that new, Peter?
Well, every year the Sarasota Jazz Club chooses a theme for their jazz festival.
Okay.
And this is Generations of Jazz because what we're really highlighting and focusing on is exactly the generations of jazz. So there are going to be plenty of opportunities where you will see and hear seasoned jazz professionals and the up-and-comers.
Okay, now
oftentimes performing together.
This is going to take place in multiple locations.
That's
this
right.
year?
So this year's Jazz Festival features 120 performers,
Wow.
48 different events from March 3rd to March 9th. So
Every
we have
day.
we have a variety of events. The headquarters or the main location for the Jazz Festival is at the Hyatt, the Sarasota Hyatt. But we're also we have a jazz trolley tour on Thursday. We have other locations. I'm using notes because there's just so much information. So aside from the Hyatt, we're also going to be at Philippi State Park, Burns Court Cinema, the St. Paul Lutheran Church, and 10 area clubs as part of our trolley tour.
So there's something going to be going on for the 6 days, right? And you have 4 main stage concerts. Are you going to tell us a little bit about that?
Sure. So
Michael, you going to talk about them?
Well, I think what Ken has done this year is he's trying to, as we talked about, he's
This is Ken Peplowski.
Ken
He's
Peplowski,
the
right,
director.
right.
Okay.
So he's pairing some younger guys and some older guys together, which has the potential to really be a lot of fun. So there's some really established artists on the program, like the amazing pianist Bill Charlap will be there, Houston Person, who's just a jazz legend, tenor saxophonist. We've got quite a few other really big names.
Randy Brecker.
Coming to the
Randy, the amazing Randy Brecker, the trumpet player. And then we have some young up-and-coming guys. The rhythm section this year is going to be La Lucha, who are based here in Florida. 3 young guys who have a pianist, a bass player, and a drummer who have played together now for years. But they're young guys, and this is a great opportunity for them.
For them, yeah.
Because they're going to be the rhythm section for most of the concert.
Okay.
And then we have the amazing James Suggs, a young trumpet player who also makes his home in Florida. His new record is actually number 9 this week on Jazz Radio.
wow.
Well,
So,
congratulations, yeah.
This is a great opportunity,
for them.
To check these guys out.
Now you've got theme stages, which is a new concept for the festival.
Yeah, that's
What's
going to
that
be
about?
really exciting, and part of the reason that Ed Linehan, who's the president of the Sarasota Jazz Club, decided to do this is because we're really actively and proactively trying to grow our jazz club membership base.
And get younger people in there,
one of the ways
too,
we're
right?
doing that is by expanding. Jazz is such a wonderful concept because it's so hard to define. So this year, in addition to the jazz, we have 4 theme stages and some names that people are going to recognize: Selwyn Birchwood, Lauren Mitchell, Betty Fox. On the contemporary stage, we have Jeremy Carter, Hiram Hazley, Marlene Boone, and Kat Hefner. On the Latin stage, we have Frankie Pinero. It's really
a lot
going to be
going
a lot of great
Now
music.
you've got Jazz in the Park, you've got the pub crawl, you've got the jazz film, and you have the jazz high school contest winners that are
That's
going to
correct.
perform too.
We do a jazz high school jazz competition every year, and the top 3 winners this year were Pineview Jazz Ensemble, Northport High School, and the Sarasota High. And they will also be performing.
And when is that? When is
that is
for?
going to be on, I don't know.
Okay.
You'll have to go to the website.
What? Well, there we go.
Absolutely.
That's what I was just going to ask you. So it's from the 3rd to the 9th.
Mm-hmm.
People can go on your website. Are there multiple tickets available? I mean,
there's a whole host of varieties, including packages at the Hyatt, single, and there's lots of free music.
Okay.
Lots of free music.
Great. I wish we had more time, but you know, it's a wonderful opportunity for all of our guests and residents to check out the 39th annual Sarasota Jazz Festival.
And I'm sure you'll put the web address up on your graphic.
Yes, we will.
Perfect.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you for having us. Okay.
Next on Suncoast FYI, a look at a disco-themed fundraiser for the Sarasota Farmers Market. The Sarasota Farmers Market is a Suncoast staple. You can help the nonprofit this Sunday at their Sunday Night Fever fundraiser. And here to tell us all about it is Executive Director Phil Pagano. Well, this is quite a takeoff from what you normally do, Mr. Disco Man.
Well, first, let me thank you, Nancy, for having me. But,
sure.
You know, the Farmers Market is a 501c3.
Yep.
You know, we're non-for-profit. And although we do have, you know, vendors pay rent, there's other programs and things we need to fund.
Sure. And
we
you
do a lot for other non-for-profits.
Yeah,
and
but you
whatnot,
started this a long time ago. When was that? Because
well, the market was started 40 years ago this year by Paul Thorpe.
Paul Thorpe, bless his heart, we love that man.
We miss very much. It did a lot of events, the parades, and so he started this 40 years ago.
And you've continued the torch, and that's wonderful.
The vendors took over 10 years ago as the organization have really, you know, jumped it up to the next level.
Yep.
And I mean, with a lot of things we do in our programs.
Yeah. And as you mentioned, you're a nonprofit, so you're self-supported.
Exactly.
Right?
I mean, you know, we just have to raise funds and some of our sponsors to really, you know, take it above, you know, what other smaller markets do.
Okay. Now, this is a little bit different for you. I know you've done other fundraisers, but tell us about this Sunday Night Disco Fever.
Well, let me tell you about Sunday Night Fever. Well, first, last 2 years, we had Woodstock in the summer. So that was good. And I was thinking about, of course, I'm from a little bit from that era. And I was thinking, what else could we do? And then all of a sudden, disco came, you know, thought came. And when you think about it, I mean, we have a lot of baby boomers here, but also the younger people. I have never seen so much interest, you know, for this event.
Yeah. Now, you mentioned something about all the recycling you're going to be doing at this event, which I think is marvelous.
Exactly. I mean, keeping in tune with the farmers market. I don't know of any event that's ever been downtown that has recycled 100% of what they take in. Let's say the paper plate. These are plates that can be recyclable. We have cups made of corn, you know, derivative. We will be composting everything at the end, so 100% of everything coming in.
Well, thank you, and I hope more of our local businesses follow your lead on that.
Well, I think a lot of it has to do with Peter Burkhardt, a vendor of 40 years. He just retired a few months ago.
Your vendors are wonderful.
But he is one that has been really projecting, you know, our recycling and you know, with the environment. So
that's
for him. And the community.
That's great. And what about the attendance? I just can't imagine what it is now. I mean, it's just gone.
Well, we just had another customer count, so we're waiting to hear. But you know, we could have an attendance of about 500,000 people a year.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That's huge.
And you know, it's a community event,
Yeah.
and you know, we do all kinds of things between music and
Absolutely.
eating locally and sourcing locally. So people like.
What kind of financial impact do you think that has on our downtown?
Well, we did a study, another study, that we generate $56 million to the downtown core each year. So it's good.
Yeah, I think we should keep you around another 40 years.
Well, we always need help too. That's why we're having a fundraiser. So we ask, you know,
so tell us
tickets.
More.
Tickets are going to be tight, you know, right before, but you know, there's still go to our website.
Yeah.
We have an e-brite.
Yeah, but tell us about the event now before we.
Well, the event is going to be pretty special.
Okay.
We have some special things going on. We have DJ Russ. He's going to be doing some music, and we have some special guests that will be coming.
And you're not going to tell us who they are because they're special guests?
It's sort of a surprise, but you know, I think it's going to be entertaining, And everybody's going to be involved for a fun night.
Yeah.
I will tell about the food. It's funny because, you know, the food is important too, because we're going to have 50-foot salad bar.
Wow.
And then we're going to have other Perry's Barbecue. There'll be other vendors that will be right in one line. So basically, you get a tray and you go down once, you know, which is pretty good.
Okay.
And then everything you get on that line was sourced locally.
Now,
or made from our vendors.
Are your vendors going to be there that night?
The vendors
as well?
will be there. They're doing the food and they're doing other things.
All right. Now, what time is it? What time is it?
It's 5 to 8.
Okay.
On Sunday, you know, on Sunday night.
And how much are the tickets?
Tickets are $35, $45 at the door.
Okay. And are you limiting this to a certain number so people
we are
should grab
trying
tickets,
to limit
right?
it. So, you know, we'll have to go. You'll have to go to our website and see what's available.
Okay. Great. Well, thank you. And you're going to be all dressed up that night, right?
I think I'm going to have a few things.
You're going to do a little disco that night?
It's fun. You know what?
Okay.
It's fun for the community.
Okay.
And we'll have a good time.
If you're going to disco, I'll go.
I will be disco.
All right. We'll see you. After the break, we have a special performance from award-winning banjoist, so don't go away. Our next guest is a multi-instrumentalist who has toured all over the world, and returning now to be here with us is banjoist Cynthia Sayre. Welcome back.
Thank you very much.
A lot's happened. You broke some new ground in jazz banjo. What is that?
I'm very proud to say that I just won a Bistro Award, which they've never had a banjo player win that before. And
congratulations.
Thank you very much. I also was a triple silver medal winner of the Global Music Awards, and that again a first for banjo. And last but not least, I am the first 4-string jazz banjoist to ever be a featured artist at the famous Newport Jazz Festival. And I did that this past summer, and that was great.
That's exciting.
I'm
oh
really
my gosh.
honored.
And, you should be. Well, you're great.
Yeah, well, thank you.
How many years have you been playing now?
Oh, do I need to tell you?
Oh,
a long time.
Long time, okay.
So I've been a musician since I finished college.
Okay.
And I never honestly even thought that I would continue. I just thought I'd do it for fun for a little while and move on to something else, but here I am.
Here we are. And speaking of moving on, you've traveled all over the world,
yes.
and I know you had a recent trip that you'd like to share with us.
Well, I was very thrilled to go back to China for the second time with my New York band, the Joyride Band, and it was a great tour because we did feature concerts in 6 cities, and we also did a lot of community outreach with children, some underprivileged children with some local Chinese orchestras that we collaborated with, and it was so interesting.
Okay.
It was great.
Now, the reason we have you here today is because you're going to be performing at the Glen Ridge.
Yes.
On
Saturday, yes.
Right. Now, you're talking about your regular band, but they're not going to be joining you.
That's correct.
So who is going to be joining you,
Well,
Cynthia?
I have with me the wonderful Randy Sankey, an artist who just moved down to Florida. I was happy. Richard Drexler on string bass, Tony Vigilante on drums. So it'll be really an all-star band. And honestly, you've got such great musicians here. I have a wealth of great talent to pick from. So,
so what can our guests, and I'm included, I'm excited to say, what can we expect to hear on Saturday?
Well, you know, in general, I basically am a swing-based program. There's playing, there's swinging, there's a sort of eclectic, and I don't want to give away any surprises, but it's very family-friendly, it's very accessible, and it's fun, and it's jazz, early jazz.
Okay, all right, so it's Saturday at the Glen Ridge. Tickets are still available, so they should go online?
Yes, you can call, or you can at the box office, or you can go online. I recommend going online. I don't know if there's a lot of tickets left, but please fill up the house.
Okay, yes, it's going to be a great show.
Thank
I just know
you.
I'm looking forward to it. Now, you're going to play for us in a moment, but you have this amazing book that you've created here. It's a play-along program.
It's a play-along program for traditional jazz, hot swing, early jazz, however you want to call it, hot jazz. It has a lot of different names, and it's a bunch of tunes. It comes with 2 CDs or downloads, depending on your age. You can get either way, whatever's comfortable for you. There's music. It's for all instruments, not just banjo. There's chords. It's written in different keys. It's all kinds of stuff, and also practical information about how to play. And it gives you the real experience of playing in a band.
Okay, cool. Now, you have 9 CDs out. Your most recent is Joyride.
Is Joyride, yeah.
Okay, are you going to be playing something from that today, or are you going to serenade us with something else?
I thought I would play for you the first song that banjo players typically learn when they play the banjo. It's a wonderful old standard. It was a big hit by Les Paul and Mary Ford, and you might know it, and it's a great tune. And if you're a banjo player, you often learn this one to start.
To start, okay. Well, so we're going to let you
okay.
get ready, and we'll be back and listen to Cynthia play a song for us.
Fantastic. So here's Bye Bye Blues. Bye bye blues, bye bye blues. Don't cry, don't sigh, sun is shining, no more pining, just we two, smiling through. Don't cry, don't sigh, bye bye.
Coming up this weekend is the annual Art Slam in downtown Bradenton. This free event is a celebration of art, education, and creativity. Come experience public art of all levels from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. on Old Main Street in Bradenton. Plus, the Berry Fest at Fruitville Grove, a family-friendly event with face painting, bounce houses, train rides, and plenty of delicious berry treats. The event runs from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. for the next 3 weekends in March. If you would like to promote your community event on Suncoast FYI, we would love to hear from you, and this is a complimentary service. Please call our producer, Andrea Chu, at 941-361-4651. To view previous episodes, go to snntv.com. I'm Nancy O'Neill, and we'll see you next Friday on Suncoast FYI.